Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to discuss why American Express is best. In the last year, I've redeemed many points. I've taken trips over to Asia, Europe, and all around North America, and I've had an absolutely incredible experience. Now, I've been redeeming points from airline programs, but I've also been transferring points with my transferable currencies, predominantly with American Express and also Chase. Now, for those of you who've watched this channel before, you know that I am a big Chase fanboy because I am a big fan of the World of Hyatt program. I have World of Hyatt globalist status, and I mainly was able to become a globalist because Hyatt is partnered with Chase, so you can transfer over your Chase Ultimate Reward points over to the World of Hyatt program at a 1-to-1 ratio, and then also Chase has a co-branded World of Hyatt credit card that you can end up using to help you get top tier status as well. I really do like the Chase Rewards program, and in person, most of the time I actually do recommend Chase Ultimate Rewards earning credit cards as compared to American Express earning credit cards, because I think that it's really hard to get yourself bad value when redeeming Chase Ultimate Reward points. Usually you're gonna get yourself at least 1 cent equaling 1 point, whereas with membership reward points, there are many people out there who actually redeem for a statement credit, and they actually end up getting themselves pretty terrible value for their points. So while I do think that Chase is going to be great for a lot of people, for those who actually do end up doing research into the points and miles game, I think those people begin to realize that American Express is better. And it's actually better in a lot of different places. So first, let's just compare some of the American Express cards with some of the Chase cards. Now, you'll immediately notice that the American Express cards do have much higher annual fees than the Chase credit cards. But the thing about it is when it comes to earning potential, the American Express cards have a way higher upside as compared to the Chase credit cards. One of the best cards in the points and miles game is going to be the American Express Gold card. This card is going to get you 4x back on dining, 4x back on groceries, 3x back on flights, and then 1x back on all the purchases. This card does have a $250 annual fee, but it has different credits that are gonna help offset it, giving you a $120 Uber credit and then also a $120 dining credit. So if you actually take advantage of both of these credits, you're gonna get yourself $240 in value, effectively bringing the annual fee down to only being $10. Now, the reason why everyone loves this card is because we all need to eat, so being able to get yourself 4x back on both dining and on groceries is absolutely awesome. The next American Express card I want to look at is the Amex Green Card. Now, this card is going to give you 3x back at restaurants, 3x back on travel, 3x back on transit, and then 1x back on all the purchases. This card does have a $150 annual fee, but just like the American Express Gold card, they have different credits that are connected with it to help offset that. You're gonna get yourself a full clear credit, which should be valued at about $189, and then also you're gonna get yourself a Lounge Buddy credit of $100 as well. And then lastly, American Express has the American Express Platinum card. Now, this card does have a $695 annual fee. However, there's gonna be a slew of credits. I'm not gonna go over all of them in this video. I have many other videos that are giving a full breakdown of the American Express Platinum card, but just know that the credits that they are giving you are supposed to exceed over $1,500 in value. So if you can take advantage of even just half of them, you're gonna be able to offset that annual fee. And then when it comes to earning potential with this card, you're gonna get yourself 5x back on flights, 5x back on hotels booked directly with the airline, and then 1x back on all the purchases. Now, I happen to have all three of American Express's charge cards, and while I do have to pay a lot in annual fees with these cards, I get myself a ton of value from having all of them. Now, when you look at these cards compared to the Chase cards, the first thing you're gonna notice is that the Chase cards have significantly lower annual fees, with something like the Chase Freedom Flex card and the Chase Freedom Unlimited card, both having no annual fee. The earning potential for these cards is gonna give you 3x back on dining, 3x back on drugstores. The Chase Freedom Unlimited is gonna give you 1.5% back on all the purchases, and then the Chase Freedom Flex card is gonna have a 5x rotating category every quarter, up to $1,500 in spend. Now, there's two Chase cards that have annual fees. However, you can't have both of them at the same time. These are going to be their Sapphire cards. So we have the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. This card is going to give you 3x back on dining, 3x back on select streaming services, 3x back on online grocery purchases, 2x back on travel, and then 1x back on all the purchases. Now, the Chase Sapphire Preferred card is on the same level as the American Express Green card. The difference is that the Chase Sapphire Preferred card has a $95 annual fee, whereas the American Express Green card has a $150 annual fee. However, the American Express Green card does have higher earnings when it comes to travel purchases. The Chase Sapphire Preferred card also gets a $50 hotel credit that you get when you end up making a purchase through Chase's travel portal. And then lastly, we'll look at the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. Now, this card gives you 3x back on travel, 3x back on dining. You can get 10x back on hotels and car rentals booked through Chase's travel portal, and then all the Chase cards will have to give you 5x back on flights booked through Chase's travel portal. Now, this card has a $550 annual fee. However, you end up getting yourself a $300 statement credit in your first $300 that are towards travel purchases. Now, this card is on the same level as the American Express Platinum card, Both of these cards are going to be high-level travel credit cards, and they're both actually going to give you lounge access. The American Express Platinum card has more options for lounge access with having Centurion Lounge and also Priority Pass. But at the same time, if you end up looking at just having one card by itself, I think the Chase Sapphire Reserve card will work better for people who only wanted one card because of the fact that it has more opportunities to earn points in categories I think that people end up spending on. So it's not just only flights and then prepaid hotels. You get it on dining and then on all travel purchases. Now, even though the Chase program has some decent cards, we end up looking at the American Express program, it just has better earning potential. Whether it be for dining with the Gold card, for flights booked directly with the airline with the Platinum card, and we look for all-around travel, the American Express Green card at a $150 annual fee matches the Chase Sapphire Reserve card at a $550 annual fee. So if you're okay with paying the higher annual fees that are connected with the American Express cards, because you can take advantage of the different credits and perks that connect with these cards, then it's just going to make more sense to go with American Express because it has way more earning potential with their cards. And also, when we compare the sign-up bonuses currently when it comes to American Express and Chase, American Express has been having way higher sign-up bonuses than Chase credit cards have. You have the American Express Green card currently right now having a 60,000 point sign-up bonus. The American Express Gold card has had between somewhere of the lines of like 75 to 90,000 points with their sign-up bonus, and the American Express Platinum card has usually 100,000 point sign-up bonus that ends up being offered. And when you end up looking at the Chase cards, you end up looking at like the regular Freedom card, you're gonna get $200 sign-up bonus or 20,000 points. The Chase Sapphire Preferred card usually has about a 60,000 point sign-up bonus and rarely ends up getting an elevated one to either 80 or 100,000 points. And then the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, which is their top tier card that should have a sign-up bonus rivaling what the Platinum card is offering, usually has about a 50 or 60,000 point sign-up bonus and rarely ever gets an elevated offer from there. Now, if you happen to be interested in any of the Chase or American Express credit cards or charge cards that I'm talking about in this video, check out my referral link in the description box. If you decide to use any one of my links, that will really help out the channel, and I'll be incredibly thankful for your support. So we see that American Express cards are better at earning points. Now let's look at redeeming points. So first, look at the Chase program. So there's going to be mainly three ways that people can end up redeeming their points with Chase. There ends up being with a statement credit. You do have the option of actually doing it through the travel portal, of getting yourself either a 25% bonus with the Chase Sapphire Preferred or a 50% bonus with the Chase Sapphire Reserved. And then the last way, the way to get yourself the best value for your points is going to be to transfer over to transfer partners. Now, this is what I do with the vast majority of my Chase points, and pretty much all of my Chase points end up getting transferred over to the World of Hyatt program. And this allows me to stay at nice luxury Hyatt hotels such as like the Park Hyatt out in Tokyo or the Andaz out in Munich. Now, Chase has 11 airlines and 3 hotel programs as their transfer partners. When you compare that to American Express that has 17 airlines and 3 hotels as their transfer partners, you begin to see that Chase actually isn't as strong when it comes to their transfer partner program. With all these different transfer partners with American Express, it has the potential to do a lot of luxury travel. You may end up seeing some of these transfer partners and go, hey, actually, I don't fly with a lot of these different airlines. These are all international airlines, and many of them are some I've never even heard of. But the thing about these airlines is that they end up being partnered with some of the biggest airlines that you already know about, which can allow you to either take advantage of domestic flights such as like United, American Airlines, or with Delta, or you can end up using these points to travel internationally in either business class and first class. And the thing about American Express is that I end up seeing transfer bonuses all the time with different programs that connect with them. I occasionally end up seeing transfer bonuses with Chase, but it's nowhere near the amount I end up seeing with American Express. Right now, with British Airways and Avios, you can end up getting yourself a 30% transfer bonus where you end up transferring over your membership reward points to one of those programs. And even just like, I think in November, they also had a very similar transfer bonus. I believe it was 25%. It seems like many programs will, a couple times a year, have different transfer bonuses connected with American Express that will allow you to end up getting yourself way more value for your points. Because if you end up transferring over 100,000 membership reward points over to Iberia, it only costs 34,000 points to get yourself a business class flight from the east coast of the US over to Madrid during off-peak times, which means that transferring over 100,000 points will almost give you enough points in a bonus to get yourself a business class flight over to Europe. If you end up looking at business class flights over Europe, they end up costing between like $3,000 to $5,000. Now, some of the highlighted transfer partners that American Express has that Chase doesn't have when it comes to the airlines are going to be Avianca, Asia Miles, and ANA. These 3 programs, I think, all have different sweet spots if you want to take advantage of them for luxury travel internationally. Now, Chase does have United as a transfer partner, which is one that American Express doesn't have. However, United just recently had a pretty big devaluation. Asia Miles is also going to soon have a devaluation, but when I end up looking at United's devaluation, I just think to myself that this program isn't really going to end up being very competitive with other ones just because of how many miles they're now requiring to be able to fly in luxury over to international destinations. So when it comes to me transferring over my Chase Ultimate Ultimate Reward points, the odds of me transferring them over to United again at this moment are unlikely. So if you're looking at flying internationally in luxury in either business class or first class, and getting yourself some crazy value for your points, then the best way to be able to do that is going to be with membership reward points. Now, when you end up looking at hotels, I think it's pretty easy to say that Chase ends up winning in this category, just from having the World of Hyatt program as a transfer partner. Yes, American Express does have big transfer partner names such as Hilton and Marriott, but if you actually end up looking at the type of value you're going to end up getting for your points when you have to end up transferring them over to these different programs, what I recommend for people to do instead is getting themselves the Charles Schwab card and then redeeming their membership reward points at 1.1 cent per point, and then use that cash back to pay for either a Marriott or Hilton stay. Because if you actually end up getting one of their co-branded credit cards and then end up using that credit card at their hotel, what you'll end up seeing is that using that credit card at their hotel and also being a member, you're going to get a certain amount back in return, which you won't get if you actually end up transferring over your points to these programs and then just end up redeeming it with those programs. So the math, I feel like, ends up working out better if you just end up getting cash and then just using that cash towards those hotel stays. This isn't going to be the case for every single one of their properties, but I definitely recommend for people to just to look into this, because I think it ends up being better value doing that as compared to transferring over to these other hotel programs. But when it comes to World of Hyatt, you're easily going to get yourself better value from most of their hotels when it comes to transferring over your Chase Ultimate Reward points to the World of Hyatt program. I found that it's pretty easy to get yourself 2 cents per point in value with your Chase Ultimate Reward points transferring over to Hyatt, and 2 cents per point should end up being the bottom. You can definitely get yourself upwards of 4 to 5 cents per point in value when transferring over to the World of Hyatt program. The thing about the Chase program, for people who are deep in the points and miles game, is that I think we all realize that Hyatt is really propping it up. Because if you end up getting rid of Hyatt when it comes to being a transfer partner with Chase, it significantly devalues the Chase Ultimate Rewards program. But if you end up looking at something like American Express's membership rewards program, they have all these different airlines. If you end up getting rid of one of their transfer partners, yes, it would devalue the American Express membership rewards program, but nowhere near to the level as if you end up getting rid of Hyatt being a transfer partner with the Chase Ultimate Rewards program. So as a whole, I think that American Express has better transfer partners, but Chase has the one best hotel transfer partner in the game. Now, another thing I want to look at with these two programs are going to be offers. So both of these programs end up having different offers that are connected with their cards. The offers that are connected with the Chase cards, sometimes you'll see some that end up being decent, but as a whole, I pretty much don't even end up paying attention to them because they end up having like a cap of getting like $10 back or $15 back. It's something very small, but when you end up looking at the offers that are connected with the American Express membership rewards credit cards, they end up actually having some pretty decent offers. One of the best ones that I ended up getting last year that I love to highlight ended up being a $80 return after I'm spending $200 on a JetBlue purchase. So this ends up being a 40% return on a JetBlue flight. I absolutely loved this offer and took advantage of it immediately. Now, Chase is getting better at this, at having these different My Bonus journeys with their cards, but I still don't think they end up comparing to being what American Express has when it comes to the Amex offers. Now, I also want to look at shopping portals with these two programs. If you actually end up looking at the shopping portal that's connected with Chase, I actually think that it is pretty decent, but when I end up looking at the one that's connected with American Express, for those of you who don't know, it actually ends up being Rakuten. Rakuten is going to be the shopping portal that allows you to actually get yourself either cash back or membership reward points when you actually end up using Rakuten to make online purchases with the connected websites that are partnered with Rakuten. For those of you who aren't using shopping portals, you can earn yourself so much either cash back or points if you actually end up using these. I highly recommend it. If you have not already have a Rakuten account, please use my referral link in the description box. You get yourself $30 back on your first $30 purchase. But you end up comparing Rakuten to the Chase travel portal, Rakuten just ends up having better earnings in many occasions, and you end up seeing like double points. This happens like, I feel like every other week with Rakuten. I definitely just check out Rakuten way more than I do Chase. Occasionally, I will use the Chase travel portal, but I just think I can end up earning way more membership reward points using Rakuten for my shopping portal. So when I look at earning potential with American Express cards, the American Express offers, and also the transfer partners, I just end up seeing American Express as being a better program than the Chase Ultimate Rewards program. I still recommend Chase to a lot of people because I do think that Chase ends up being a lot easier for people that end up getting themselves good value for your points. But if you're someone who's getting deeper into the points and miles game, membership reward points is where it's at. Now, obviously, it's going to be wise to get points in both programs, but if you want to be in a lay flat bed across an ocean in the front of the plane while sipping on a glass of champagne, then the best way to be able to do that is going to be with American Express. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section down below which one is your favorite program. Are you more of a fan of Chase or American Express? Now, if you happen to have any questions about the Chase Ultimate Rewards program or the American Express Membership Rewards program, drop it down in the comment section down below and I'll do the best I can to answer it. If you happen to really like this video, then please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this video, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Peace.